Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Jamaican government priorities questioned over current moves at constitution reform. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 4th May 2023. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Suspicions growing among some Jamaicans who question the government's priorities in pushing the Jamaica's republic status while the country struggles to get a grip on crime and other social ills. Nika Lewis of CVM Live has this report.
What would be the job description of the president?
Crooks, that's a big question, you know. I can't put it in synopsis, but the president is going to be the head of state, protecting. It's such an important question, and it's a big part of this work. But if I tell you head of state, embodying national unity, making critical appointments to critical things, offices, dealing with sensitive offices, it's a question that you should have asked at the start, because now that we're running out of time, a whole heap. But having raised it, we will probe it for you and come back with a full answer, because now we have gotten to the meat of the matter.
A response met with much criticism as to whether Jamaica's push to become a republic is for the right reasons. Subsequently, the minister told CVM Live the video with the carefully selected excerpt is purposely designed to give a certain impression that we have no full answer to the question. The question came at the very end of the session. What is wrong with my saying, among other things, we will come back to you? That was in the context of a time boundary. We were out of time in that forum. When I said if I told you that the president was supposed to be, it was a reference back to an early part of the discussion when I explained the thinking behind a formal head of state separate from a head of government. In Barbados, the most recent Caribbean nation to transition to republic status, the role of President Sandra Mason is the head of state, mirroring closely her role while serving the British Crown as Governor General at the time of the transition. This includes being the nominal source of executive power enforcing the law. The amended constitution means that she's bound with few exceptions to exercise this power under the advice of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. The President's role in the legislative process is limited to assenting to bills and signing them to law. However, the President has the absolute power to withhold assent to bills passed by Parliament, that is, to veto without parliamentary override. In the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the President's role includes being a nominal head of state, mainly appointing a Prime Minister who thereafter heads the cabinet and advises the president on how to execute their executive powers over all aspects of government operations and foreign affairs. The president's role is almost entirely symbolic and cultural, acting as a symbol of the legal authority under which all governments and agencies operate. So is constitutional reform and becoming a republic a priority for the average Jamaican at this time? The analyst suggests otherwise.
You begin to wonder, what is the motive of this whole thing? What first of all, the public are demanding it. You're doing this thing, you bring on a man we don't like. You can't tell us the job description. Come on, what's going on here? And you begin to wonder, is it not another Michael Manley moment for the monarchy? Because they are stumbling and on something which people are not even demanding in the first place.
Nika Lewis, CVM Live.
Workers in St. Kitts and Nevis commemorated 28th April as World Day for Safety and Health at Work. The day was marked under the theme, A Safe and Healthy Working Environment, a Fundamental Right. Glenn Bard of SKN Newsline reports.
Minister of Employment and Labour Marshall Henderson, in addressing the nation, said, quote, It is imperative that as the working environment evolves with changes in technology, equipment, processes, and policies, that we readily adapt. We must implement structures and strong safety policies that ensure a safe working environment for all stakeholders, end quote.
Our employees must be equipped with the necessary tools and training to safely discharge their duties. The environment must be reflective of adherence to safety guidelines. Any commitment to safety in the workspace is guaranteed to save lives and must therefore be a number one priority. Employees too must recognize that they too are responsible and should at all times ensure safe practices and display responsible behavior. Employees should follow all rules and guidelines, report work hazards in a timely manner, and work towards a safe environment for themselves and others within the workplace. Permit me to remind us all of the important roles of our regulators and inspectors, whose main task is that of ensuring safety in the workplace by identifying and enforcing safety regulations. The fact is, compliance and guidance strengthen the pillars of safety in the workplace, and we must adhere to this to ensure that safety is guaranteed.
Minister Henderson said safety structures and strong safety policies must be implemented to ensure safe work environments. Glenn Bout reporting for SKN Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Senior Justice Madam Indra Cynthia Charles promoted to the Appeals Court of the Bahamas.
Well, there's a new addition to the Court of Appeals. Senior Justice Indra Charles was today officially sworn in, administering the oath deputy to the Governor General, Her Excellency the Honorable Cynthia Pratt. Justice Charles, who fills a void following the retirement of Justice Carolita Bethel, thanked her family, colleagues, and friends for their continued support over the years.
I'm grateful to you all. I promise that I will continue to work as hard as I think I work in the Supreme Court. And I accept this position today with humility and gratitude. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm so happy to see you again.
Minister of National Security of the Bahamas, in the meantime, updates the public on prison officials' settlement.
The Minister of National Security is tight-lipped on the settlements for Acting Commissioner of Corrections Don Clare and his deputy, Bernadette Thompson Murray. The pair sued the Minister administration back in 2019 after both were made to take vacation for what the two said was to facilitate the appointment of former Commissioner of Corrections, Charles Murphy. Monroe revealing back in March that the Attorney General had settled with the two. When again questioned about the size of those settlements, the minister explained why the number has not yet been revealed.
Unless we wanted to invite a bunch of people to ask us for money, you generally impose confidentiality clauses. Because as a lawyer who sued the government, right, before I sat in this chair, I made quite a bit of money suing the government. And if I know what you settle with somebody else at, then I can target what I will settle for. And so it may sound bad, but as a litigant who represents an insurance company, a big organization, if I settle with your colleague here for $40,000 and you don't know that, I can offer and get you to take 10, but the minute you know he got $40,000, you're not taking anything less than $40,000.
The extended dry spell in Barbados is to be blamed for the warning given regarding the likelihood of shortages of some crops.
Barbadians are being told to brace for the possibility of shortages in some crops as the agriculture drought affecting the island persists. At the same time, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security in Darawir said government was building resilience for some time for the eventuality of prolonged dry spells and that his plan had now been kicked into high gear. However, the minister said much would come down to management by the individual farmer. where said based on trends from other years, locally produced vegetable crops were going to be difficult to sustain at this time, noting this reality could impact prices.
May Day was used by Antigua's opposition, United Progressive Party, the UPP, and Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, the ABWU, to register their lack of trust in the government. Garfield Burford of ABS News reports.
The Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union and the United Progressive Party marching in lockstep on Labor Day. Their message was they had no trust in the government.
When I look up the word trust, the meaning of trust is a firm belief, true ability of someone or something. And when we look at what's going on in this country, we cannot have any trust in this administration.
UPP leader Honorable Jamal Pringle had this message for the party faithful and the workers.
I want to reaffirm our commitment that we, the United Progressive Party, will continue to work with the Antigua-Barbuda Workers Union to put policies that is geared towards bettering the lives of the working class.
He was also confident of the prospects for the party's electoral success.
I am confident that within a short time, the working class of Antigua and Barbuda will see a new government that will put their interests first and work in providing better work conditions and a better living standard.
General Secretary of the ABWU, David Messiah, chided the government over the plight of workers in the public sector.
Every year, when it comes Labor Day, they gather up at the bus of VC to evoke the spirit of VC Bird, to tell you how they love labor. But brothers and sisters, the message, their track record is clear, that the police, the teachers, the nurses, the working class, the CBH, everyone, brothers and sisters, they're all suffering under this particular government.
Hubbards is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.